Hey guys, and welcome to my review of To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I generally do too many reviews, contemporary books in one video, but I felt like I need a lot to talk about. I just need a lot of time to discuss this book and my love for this book. This will be non-spoiler. I think the first half of it will be non-spoiler and the second half will be spoiler. I will be putting some spoiler alerts before, further discussing the book, so don't worry about that. But the first section is for all of you people who are interested in reading this book and aren't sure whether to read it or pick it up. Bottom line, pick it up. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but it talks about Lara Jean. She's half Korean, and she is the middle child. She has two other sisters, an older one named Margaret and a younger one named Kitty. They are called the Song Girls. First of all, just before getting into like the bulk of the story, I really love the relationship between Lara Jean, Margaret, and Kitty. It's just, the Song Girl has such a nice ring to it, and they do everything together, and they're just so close, yet there's always like there's a lot of fighting going on in the book, but you just know that at the end of the day, they love each other and will sacrifice anything for each other. Lara Jean always likes to make fun of Kitty, and Kitty's really young actually. I think she's 6 or 7 years old, but she has the cutest little temper, and she always gets mad at Lara Jean, and in the end Lara Jean has to go and grovel and apologize. It's just the cutest thing ever. I love Kitty. I love how grown up she seems, with the way she talks. I have a cousin that's like that, and oh, they're so cute. So I really loved Kitty. I love Lara Jean because Lara Jean seems so innocent. She's 16. She seems innocent, but at the same time, she seems like she knows who she really is. She's someone who's confident with herself, but at the same time, she is still plagued with the usual teenage insecurities. And what happens in this book is that she writes a love letter to every guy that she's ever crushed on or loved, and she writes those love letters when she is just done with them. She doesn't want to love them anymore, and this is her way of detoxing and getting the guys out of her system. And she writes those love letters, and you get to read a couple of them, and they're just so adorable and hilarious and funny. She writes them, she writes the mailing address and everything as if she's gonna mail it to them, and then puts them in a hat box that her mother gave to her before her mother passed away. But then one day she finds out that the hat box is gone and the letters have been mailed to all the guys she's loved before. And chaos ensues. You get to meet a couple of those guys, and she has to basically face everything that she's ever written about each one. And there's a lot of hilarious scenes, and Lara Jean herself is she's such a fun character. I really like her personality. I like how she acts. I like how impulsive she is sometimes, and it showed in how she dealt with some of the guys. It was just really funny. I also really liked how Jenny Han wrote the whole book. At the beginning, I kind of thought it was a bit childish in terms of the writing style, and I'm like, I just hope I'm not disappointed, because this is one of my most hyped up, one of my most anticipated books of 2014. But then as I got to reading it, I felt like I was inside Lara Jean's head, because she wrote the perspective of a 16-year-old so well, and I really appreciated that. Lara Jean didn't feel like she was 18 years old or 30 years old or 12 years old. She felt like she was a 16-year-old girl, and I really liked that. I love this book. I love the Song Girls. I love Lara Jean. I love some of the boys that show up, and I just love the letters themselves and how funny they were and how funny Lara Jean is. Also, fun fact, this is from Jenny Han herself, because I went to her signing. She said that this is sort of semi-autobiographical, I think I said that right, in terms of the love letters, because Jenny Han used to do the same thing where she'd write love letters to every guy she's ever crushed on and put them in a box. But she's never mailed them, so that's good. It's such a fun, cool idea, and I like that there's a second book called P.S. I Still Love You, and she has mentioned that who the P.S. I Still Love You is about, but I will not reveal it here. So this is the end of the non-spoiler section, and I'll just go right ahead and talk about the spoiler section. So if you have not read this book, just pause it and leave an awesome comment, and then you can close it. What did I think about this book? So you know that there's Josh, who is her neighbor, and she's always crushed on him, but he became Margaret's boyfriend, so she kind of took a step back. And then there's Peter, who is the first guy I think she's ever crushed on, and her letter to him was just amazing, and Jenny Han actually read that letter. I really loved the whole love contract. I feel like Jenny Han took this from Korean dramas, because Korean dramas, like, I think like a couple of years ago, they were all about the love contract. Every single drama had a love contract, and it was hilarious. So I feel like she kind of took that idea from the Korean dramas, which I'm so cool with because it translated really well into this book. And I liked how I really thought that the end result would be Josh with what's her name, with Laura Jean, even though he was Margaret's boyfriend, but it wasn't. And when she started doing the whole love contract with Peter just to make sure that Josh knows that she's over him, and them like getting closer together, even though at the beginning they would like bicker all the time, and Peter was like, you know, what am I doing with you? It was hilarious. It was so cute and it's adorable, and I loved her time with Peter. I also loved how sometimes Peter would just look at her and she's so clueless, like she's so innocent and clueless. I got a message. So I just thought it was really cute. I really liked the time that they spent together. It was really well written. I also loved the progression of the whole plot, in how it kind of took me by surprise that Jenny Han went to Peter. I actually really thought that she wasn't going to do that, as I mentioned. And I really liked the whole field trip that they took, and the ending was kind of sad for me. Like, I read the arc before I had the finished copy to read it, and I feel like I initially thought it was only going to be a standalone, so when I finished the book I'm like, this is it? Dear Peter? That's how the book ends, with her writing another letter to him? But I find out that there's, you know, a sequel and all that. Also, something else that I loved, as I mentioned in my non-spoiler section, is the whole Song Girl together and stuff, but I was a bit iffy about Margaret. I really felt hurt, as Laura Jean felt hurt, when Laura Jean would try to talk to her because, you know, Margaret is in like Ireland or Scotland or something, and Margaret was just too busy. But then in the end I find out that Margaret felt hurt because Laura Jean can now basically can sustain herself and without needing any help from Margaret. But I'm like, Margaret, you're the one who left, so I'm confused. You're selfish, basically. I thought she was really selfish because of her feeling, I guess, abandoned or something. Because I'm like, you technically abandoned them, so I don't think you have a right to feel that. But other than that, I feel like the ending came really well in terms of like the Song Girls, and how like no matter what, they still love each other and nothing will break them apart, even if it was a guy. I also was really surprised when I found out that Kitty was the one who mailed the letters. Little Kitty, that devious little girl. I just love her. I also liked how a lot of like Korean cuisine was in the book, like the Korean barbecue and all that stuff, and the kimchi, which is, I'm a big Korean culture fan. Like, I've also been there, and it was really cool. So basically, character-wise, Laura Jean is awesome. Plot-wise, the whole plot is awesome, amazing, and I don't think there's anything else I can say about this. I know I mentioned before about like the spark in contemporary books that I always need in order for me to love a book. Every Jenny Han book has that spark, and I feel like her books are just pure amazing, and her ideas and the way her plot progression, everything is beautiful. The way Laura Jean herself grew in such a short time was just amazing, and I just loved every single thing about the book. Characters, plot-wise, even the ending, even though it was a bit hurtful, that if it was a bit open-ended in terms of like, you know, her writing the letter and you not being sure whether she is going to end up with Peter or she's going to go back to, you know, liking Josh again. But since this is a spoiler discussion, I think I would mention that the P.S. I Still Love You that Jenny Han was talking about from her title is for the guy that she went to the United Nations conference kind of thing for the students. So it's the guy that was sent a letter, and he's the only guy that we did not read his letter because she never actually confronted him. So that's who the P.S. I Still Love You is about. So I feel like we're going to be moving away from the Josh drama into some other thing, which I'm really happy with, because I think in the end she kind of realized that Josh will always be a part of her life as a friend, but nothing more. And I'm totally okay with that, and she's totally happy with that, and I'm happy with that. For me, end result, it better be Peter Kavinsky, because I love Peter a lot, and I've told that to Jenny Han. I'm like, it better be Peter or else I will be crying. I will literally cry. And she laughed. I hope that means that Peter ends up with her, but I hope so. This book is pure perfection. Honestly, pure perfection in terms of contemporary books, all the way up there with Anna and the French Kiss. I love this book so much. I definitely will be recommending it to any contemporary fans and anyone who would listen to me. I love this book. 5 out of 5 stars, all-time favorite. I will link my written review below. Other than that, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video discussion. Let me know if you guys have any discussions, but please be mindful that this is the comment section is also for non-spoiler comments, so don't post any spoilers. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a nice day. Bye.